Register right now at www.anthem.unreal.me. There is a $20 registration fee.
If you are looking to sell your house in Los Angeles or surrounding areas, call 323-391-3464. Foreclosure, probate, divorce, looking to relocate, or any other reason to make you think about selling now, call 323-391-3464. We will make a fair offer on your property and close quickly. Call 323-391-3464. That's 323-391-3464. Fair offer on your property and close quickly.
Need an honest opinion about your current single? It's time to let the viewers and listeners of the radio show cast their vote on whether the radio show should play it or slay it. So submit your radio edit track to the #1 indie music radio program in the country for millions to be introduced to your brand and your music product. It's Play It or Slay It on the radio show every Monday night at 10 p.m. Pacific time and 1 a.m. Eastern.
Hey, Sugar Free Cocaine, y'all can come in now. Man, hey, man, these commercials is done. Hey, back to some of this real music, you dig? Check that out. The radio show. Go!
Where do you come from, baby? I've been sent you to set me.
Okay, James, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Gotcha. All right, here we go.
Now you control my senses. You follow me in my sleep. And I can see you watching far away. We're like the ocean. If I ride your way, then I just might drown. Emoji emotions.
Check, 1, 2.
Smiley face with the tongue speaking out. Nah, with no face. She like a Leon, 1 in a million. She move it back and forth like a rerun. Me know I enjoy when I see one.
We're going to interrupt this song right here. It's going down.
We just lovers and friends. Catching these feelings, killing me softly. And we did it again. I can tell you're only for me, but you got some kind of hold up on me. Loving you is all that I need. When you put that control up on me, she take control of me. So far gone.
So mic check 1, 2. Mic check 1, 2. All right, here we go. Turn that up. Okay, James, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. We're good.
Got you. All right, here we go. So we're good?
Yes, sir.
All right, it's going down. Sometimes we get in here and we do lunchtime interviews, and the radio show is making it happen with no exception today. Joining us now, running for mayor, and it's going down in another week or so, but the election is going to happen. If you happen to live in the city of Compton, make sure you vote for this man right here, because he's going to bring change to the community of Compton. So joining us now, we have James Hayes on. James, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing good, brother. Good to be here. Thank you so much for bringing me on today.
Very good. So tell me about your platform real quick.
Well, the real quick platform is this. As mayor, I plan to raise approximately $15 million over 3 years to be invested directly in Compton's young people. I'm calling it the Compton Youth Initiative. Raising $15 million to be invested in our youth. And this is important to me because when you look at Compton, to me, it looks like a city that hasn't invested in young people in a long time. 20 years, no investment in young people. This is what we get.
20 years of not investing in young people. So tell me, besides that, and we'll talk more about the young people in a moment. Tell me about how you're going to be different from the last regime, from Asia Brown in the city of Compton.
Yeah, here's the difference. The difference is I look at the city government as a business. I want to sit down, roll up my sleeves, and handle the business of Compton. See, Compton's done bad business for the last 20 years, too. That's why the city doesn't have a credit rating, okay? That's why you see all the damage to the streets, the lights not working. You see all this because we haven't handled the business, all right? So I want to sit down and deal with the way we're structured as a government. We may need to change the way we do business as a government so that we can make better use of the dollars that we have. So the first thing you got to do is go in, you got to look at where we are. You got to find out, well, just how much money do we have? And just how much money are we spending? And how are we spending it? And is there a better way to do it? And I think there's a better way to do it, but I think you have to start there.
And how might that way be?
That way might be, first of all, auditing all the books. Compton doesn't have audits for a number of years. And what that means is you don't know how the money's been spent. Not only, and when I say you don't know, I'm not just talking about the public. I'm talking about the elected officials don't know how a lot of the money's been spent. So the first thing you do when you correct the business is you look at the books. So if you got a lot of years where you don't have audits, that's why you don't have a credit rating. Really? And to a city, that's extremely important. Okay. So we got to clean that up first. And so that's the first order of business.
Well, not to bring dirty laundry out there, but just because we're a radio show and this is what we do, where do you think the money's been going?
The money's been going to folks who aren't supposed to be getting the money. In other words, we pay people to come in and do things for our city, and they don't do it. Okay, for example, if we're paying money for a contractor to come in to repair the streets, right? And they come in and they do patch jobs, and we pay them a whole lot of money to repair these streets. That money's going out, and the streets are still in bad condition. Okay, if you spend money on let's say you spend money, what we did, we bought a pothole machine. We bought a machine that is designed to fill potholes. You buy that, and you don't have anybody on staff trained to operate the machine. So the machine sits for a year before anybody can even use it. That's throwing away money.
Now, now I live in Inglewood, so I'm really an outsider looking in. So now this is what I heard about the pothole machine, that it was bought, but actually it was the neighboring city, I believe it's Norwalk or Linwood, that actually lended the machine to you all for the potholes.
What happened was that other city had to come and train our folks on how to use the machine. Okay, that's what it was, and it was Carson.
Oh, it's Carson. Okay.
Yeah, we couldn't utilize our machine until we got a neighboring city, which was Carson in this case, to come and train our people on how to actually use it.
Okay.
All right. So, so my point is this: if you buy something that you can't use, you're wasting city dollars. Now, there's all kinds of stories, and I don't like to bring it up because until law enforcement proves it, they're just allegations and what have you. But people are talking about how money's been spent in Compton that's not necessarily legal in the way it's been done. And unfortunately, our city has developed that kind of reputation. Okay. But I can't count on that because talk about that because as a mayor, as an incoming mayor, I have to address it when I get there. And as far as I'm concerned, the way you address it is through auditing. Okay. Because when you do complete audits, you see exactly where the money went, okay? And you see whether it went to something good, or you see whether it was wasted, or you see if it just disappeared, okay? That's why you do audits. And so that would be the first order of the day.
Okay, definitely. You just joined us now. We have James Hayes. He's running for the mayor of the city of Compton, and the election's coming up within a few weeks, right?
Yeah, the election day is actual April 20th, but ballots are going to be mailed out. Because of COVID, this is an all-mail election. So ballots are going to start hitting people's mailbox around March 24th. So you'll have almost a month to complete your ballot and get it back into the county of Los Angeles. And I would be number 5 on that ballot.
You're number 5 on there. Okay. Well, let's talk about that in regards to all of your the people that you're running against. Excuse me. Now, it's a lot of people I see from what I hear that's on the ballot.
The fact that there's 10 people running shows you just how badly things have gone. Okay. Right. I've never seen this many candidates running for any office in Compton. And the fact that there are 10 people running for mayor, it gives you an indication that something's gone wrong here. And that's what we've been talking about, things that have gone wrong. And so there are 10 candidates. Of the 10 candidates, only 2 of us have any real experience in government in Compton, and that would be the incumbent councilwoman, Sharif, and myself. None of the other candidates have any experience in government. And that's a dangerous thing, especially in a city that's already been identified as one that is in a financial crisis. As well as an infrastructure crisis. very dangerous thing for folks who have no government background to be running. I mean, fresh ideas are good, but if you come in and you don't understand how the government works, that's not a good thing.
Now, your website, first thing on there I see is, let me see, and I quoting this, is it's time to make a change. It's time for, it's time for make a difference. It's time for change. Now,
Right.
tell me about that in regards to the 10 people you're running against and how are you going to separate yourself from them?
Okay, well, the big difference, as I said, in that I would separate myself as it relates to experience. I've been a planning commissioner, been a parks and recreation commissioner. I've actually worked for the city council and have worked on programming with numerous mayors, going all the way back to Doris Davis. So see, I have that real government experience working in administration as well as on the political side with the elected officials. That is a big difference between myself and the other candidates, okay? That is a huge difference because you want someone who has that kind of experience. Also, I have business experience unlike their business experience. It's one thing to say that you own a small business or what have you. I've actually developed large businesses, okay, and have been a partner in businesses that do business internationally. So the business background is different also, and that's why I say that the first thing that needs to be done in Compton is we need to get the business right. Okay, and I think my business background, being what it is, better positions me to understand what I'm looking at when I'm looking at a certified audit, when I'm looking at an audit that the accountants don't want to sign off on, when we start talking about forensics and auditing. I've had to deal with those situations. So I'm more in tune with exactly what we're looking for and how to use the information that we get. So I think because of the critical condition that the city's in, you have to go with experience. Okay. And as I keep saying, young, fresh ideas are good, but when you're in a situation like this, you really need that kind of experience that's battle tested, that kind of experience that, where you've been places and seen things and you know what you're looking for. Right. So that would be the difference in with most of the candidates and myself. And I think that's a very prominent difference.
Right. Now, let's say you are elected and you get in there. And first of all, I'm putting in existence. Congratulations to you. You're already in there now. So how you taking these young ideals and young people, how are you kind of bring that to the forefront and change the image of Compton?
Well, I think as it relates to young people and young ideas, you have to involve young people in government. Okay, and one of the things that I've talked about before and I will address is actually developing some type of leadership institute so that the younger people in our community can get connected to government. Okay, and when I say connected, I'm talking about all the boards and commissions. I'm talking about all the committees that work directly with council people or directly with administration. So you can see how the business works. I saw my first budget of the city of Compton when I was 17 years old. When I was 17 years old, wow. I knew what Compton's budget looked like. I knew what its city charter said. I knew how the city ran. Okay. Our youngsters today don't have a clue. And I'm not just talking about 17-year-olds. I'm talking about practically everyone.
Well, okay. I'm not gonna lie. I'm 40 something now. I don't have a clue on what's going on in the city of Inglewood. So
so we're really gonna make progress, and we're really gonna give young people the ability to make change in communities. We have to give them an understanding of government. We have to expose them. When I'm mayor, I plan to have up to 10 interns, young people who want to learn government, and they'll have direct access to me in the mayor's office. And when I say the mayor's office, I mean the important information that comes through there that affects the city. I want them to have access to it so that they can understand how the city functions. So I'm committed to doing things like that.
Yeah, I can understand that, having experience and learning about how to run a campaign and learn more about politics. When I went to Long Beach State, I actually worked for a small semester at Omar Bradley's campaign when he was running for the mayor of Compton.
Good.
So,
Good.
I have a little experience out there in the city of Compton. Plus, I did use in government when I was in high school as well. But
Well,
What?
see,
What?
if you come in with me, I won't let you go after that semester. You'd be working with me as long as I'm there.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll keep that in mind if my day job goes south, which is looking
Yeah.
like it's going to happen now. Which brings
Okay.
me to another issue right there, another topic we could talk about real quick here. Jobs, bringing stuff to the community, bringing to the community of Compton, jobs, and, we're going through a lot now with the country. So
Okay.
how are you going to bring that back and bring Compton as far as finding jobs and helping the community get back to a way of
Okay.
life that we used to have?
Very good question, because we got to be concerned with that. But I look at it as that's the key piece in economic development in any city. In any city, when you do economic development, it's all based on getting jobs for your community. If somebody wants to come and build a building and they're not bringing jobs to your community, that's not economic development. That's them making money.
Right.
Okay. I want to move away from them making money and more into economic development. So if you come in and you want to build a business, a plant, whatever the case may be, I want our people to have access to the jobs. Now, legally, there's a lot you can't do, okay? But what you can do is you can say, we're going to make sure that Compton residents are aware of the jobs. We're going to make sure that they go through a city-sponsored program that prepares them to apply for jobs and make sure that they have the skill set that they need. And we're going to provide education in the community so that folks know what we're doing, okay? And they could have better access to these jobs. The second piece to that is the vocational training, the apprenticeships, and all of those types of programs that a city has to have in place if you're going to be able to provide jobs for folks. If somebody wants to come here and build, let's say they wanted to build a hotel, another hotel. Let's say they needed to build a building like what UPS did here in Compton.
Right.
It's great to do that, but it doesn't help the city unless it becomes a job pipeline for the city. Okay. And so I'm very in tune with that. And as I deal with developers, that's a key piece. That is a key piece, that they have to be pipelines for jobs for our people here in Compton, most specifically young people, because a 16-year-old might not be able to get a job as a carpenter, but a 16-year-old can be in a program sponsored by a business where they're learning carpenter skills, and then they can be picked up into a union apprenticeship. So we got to tie it all in together. And that when I say we're going to reinvent Compton, we're going to change Compton, that's the kind of change I'm talking about.
That's right. We got James Hayes. He's running for Compton, the mayor, coming up. The election's in another few weeks. Make sure if you live in the city of Compton, make sure you fill out your ballot and vote. Just vote. You know what I'm saying? But we're asking you to vote, but if you want to vote for James, I'm giving him his time for his platform to tell you what he's going to bring to the city of Compton if he's elected. Now, James, a couple more before we get you out of here. Gentrification, okay? That's a big thing I see happening throughout the country. I see it especially here in my city of Inglewood. How are you going to help keep home prices at a certain scale, so people like us can afford them, as opposed to, having us move and leave and live somewhere else.
Exactly. Well, on one end, you got to get realtors to understand that they can't get us into bidding wars for our properties. Okay. And it's like if a home in Compton lists for $400,000, $425,000, you can't have a situation where if I walk in and I say, I'm going to give you 425 because that's exactly what you're asking. And then you come back and say, well, I know it's listed at 425, but somebody's offering 450. Do you want to go higher? That's what's going on here. Right. And that needs to stop. I don't know as a mayor if I need to talk to the California Association of Realtors to get it stopped. If so, I will. I don't know if I need to talk to the State Department of Consumer Affairs to get it stopped, but if I do, I will. I'm going to fight to stop this bidding that's going on in our community, because I personally know people who were outbidded for homes where they went in and offered more than the list price.
Right.
But the realtors kept bidding it up. The second piece is affordable housing. We know that most of these cities who are building affordable housing, it's not affordable housing. Okay, it is affordable to some, but not most of us.
Not to most of us.
Okay, we have to start to develop affordable housing that is true affordable housing, so that a 35-year-old young Black man with a good job, earning good income, with good credit, he can buy a home. Okay, the same for a Black woman or a Latino man, Latina. We have to enable young people to be able to purchase homes. And what gentrification is really all about is pushing us up.
Right.
So we got to stall that. And we got to tell developers that when you come in here and say you're building affordable homes, $500,000 is not affordable. That is not affordable.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. We need truly affordable houses. So like I said, our young people can actually afford to buy a home. And Compton is an ideal location for young people to buy homes, for anyone to buy a home. It's an ideal location. And the way we keep it ideal is we stop, them from bidding homes up. We stop from bidding homes for building homes that are truly not affordable. And we just take a good hard look at it. And see, that's business. And we got to look at it as a business and say, this is what we want for the people of our community. We want our people to, I want my son, I have a 37-year-old son.
Right.
I'd love for him to buy a home in Compton, but he can't. He's got an educated, good job, but he can't, because when he's looked at the prices, they bid him up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's not fair to him, and it's not fair to all of the other folks in my category who have children who are ready to be homeowners, but they can't come back to their hometown. It's just not fair.
Yeah,
and I'm
not.
sure the people in Englewood feel the same way.
Oh, not just Englewood, but all over the country.
Exactly.
I see it and hear it. I'm actually into real estate, so I see what's going on with that. And it's not just Compton; it's all over the country.
All over the place.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna pivot and talk about taxpayers and using the taxpayers' money for the community.
Well,
tell me about that.
Compton is one of the most highly taxed cities in the state. I think Compton has one of the highest rates of sales tax and one of the highest rates for property taxes. Okay, we have to deal with that. We have to make it so that it's a benefit living in the city. You figure it's like if you go if you're out of town and you're looking for a hotel, you know that if you go to the Ritz-Carlton at those prices, you're paying for what you're going to get.
Right.
Okay, I look at Compton taxes as the same way. If we're paying all these taxes, we got to feel like we're getting what we're paying for. And what that means is clean streets, smooth streets, clean neighborhoods, trees trimmed, all the street lights are working. It's bright at night. You got good places to shop and spend your money, good places to shop and eat, and you feel safe in your community. That it's going to take all that to make me feel like all this money I pay in property taxes make it worth it. Okay, right. So my goal is to begin to address that. Okay, what can the city do for Compton taxpayers to make them feel that it's worth it to be here? Now that's going to take some relationships with the business community, because in some cities, if you can prove you're a resident, you're going to get a discount.
Right.
Now that's easy. Okay, Compton should have something like that based on the fact that we have all these taxes. We should be able to get rebates on water bills for our senior citizens, or rebates for anyone who shows that they're conserving water. We should be able to get the Edison Company and what have you to do the same kind of program in our city. I think a lot we can have, we just don't ask. Okay, when you ask, it's yes or no. Okay, right. And I believe that in many cases it'll be yes. So as a mayor, I look forward to giving you value for the dollar that you spend in sales and property taxes. Okay, our young people in Compton, young homeowners and renters, they like access to healthy food. There's really no good reason why we don't have a supermarket chain here, one of the chains now that specializes in healthy food. Okay, we want to be as healthy as the next community.
Right.
But we have to go after those chains and say Compton is an ideal location. If you put your store here, we know you're going to make lots of money. So why are you not here? Right. So I want to go after those kinds of quality of life areas that make it worth it to pay all these taxes, because the property taxes aren't going to go away.
Right.
Okay. The sales tax, we can kind of put a cap on it and say no more new sales taxes. But for right now, they're what they are and they're high. But we need to make it worth it. We got to make it worth it to spend that money here.
Okay. Last one for you before we let you go. COVID-19. So now, the government is doing strides to get us all vaccinated, but there are many of us that are not choosing to go that route. So they're making more efforts. I see more people of minority that have in the media now taking the vaccine. So I want your opinion on how you're going to bring that to Compton and get more of us to take the vaccine.
Well, first of all, we have a good reasons, validated reasons for not trusting vaccines.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's a tough one. I mean, my mother's 86 years old. She says she ain't taking no vaccine.
Right.
Okay, and I understand.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to, the population here that will take the vaccine, we need to get them access to it. Okay. Right. And as a mayor, that's one of the things I'd be working on, is to make sure that we have adequate supplies and providers in the city of Compton. Okay. Mm-hmm. Any physician's office in Compton should be able to do the vaccine. I see CVS in Compton is already doing it for seniors. Yes. Okay, so we need to expand on all of this, and we just need to make it available, because I think the longer it's available, the more people are going to get access to it. And there's always going to be a population of people who just will not take a vaccine. Absolutely. There are folks who've never taken a flu shot. They just won't do it. And I don't think COVID's going to be any different. You're going to have that population. But it doesn't, because of the fact that we know everyone's not going to do it, the city of Compton, the government, has to keep safety in mind in everything that we do. In other words, we've learned new ways to keep buildings and facilities clean. We need to keep it up. Okay, we need to continue to disinfect by fog and what have you, our city facilities, so that we can keep infection rates down, not just with COVID, but with anything else we can kill. Right. Okay, we need to continue to encourage people to wash hands, use hand wipes, whatever the case may be. It needs to be a continuous thing. Now, the mask may go away, and I do see the mask as going away, but everything else that we put in place, we need to remain conscious of it in terms of our environment. And I think if we do that, we can keep folks healthy, whether they're vaccinated or not.
That's what's up. James Hayes has joined us here. He's running for mayor of Compton. You've heard his platform here on the radio show. Make sure you vote for him or vote for somebody. It don't matter if you live in the city of Compton. Make sure you vote. Your vote does count. All right. James, I want to thank you for joining me here today on the radio show. And hopefully we could do this down the road. I'm going to go ahead and put it in existence. Mayor James Hayes, Mayor of Compton.
Thank you, sir. Looking forward to seeing you in the mayor's office.
Very good.
Looking forward to seeing you there. All right.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, man. Have a good day, and enjoy the interview. We'll do it again soon.
Very good. Take care.
Thank you. That's James Hayes there. He's running for mayor of Compton here in the city of, Compton, part of Los Angeles County. Make sure you go out here and vote. The vote's coming up in a couple of weeks. It's going to be a mail-in ballot. James will be on the ballot, so he'll be one of 10 people on that ballot. And make sure you fill it out, send it in, and, hey, make history for the city of Compton. We got more to come. Strictly independent pop and R&B music at its finest, y'all. It's the radio show. Let's go. That more pronounced.
Yes. I'd like to welcome you to the Religion album.
Brought to you courtesy of Fet 5 Fever, Wargate Entertainment. I'd like to thank y'all for coming out tonight because you can be here with anybody but you're here with me. Man, you ready? History stole, cock and take your freedom a fold. Father foretold that everything that glitters ain't gold. She tainted by war, train us up to skrilla suppose. I'm in the worst winter in the full chinchilla is cold. God progress, civil rights expired, regress. Sons get murdered in name of men ain't stress. Mother's naive, her daughter take a sip and dry heave. But I'm for Wasa, Papa snitch, collect the shells before I leave. Please believe the cops yelling, hands up, freeze. They killed my nigga, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, cock squeeze. Visuals in March, t-shirts with rest in peace on the front. Eternal revenge, afraid to hit the streets for a month. Hang in vain, gavel count the years on the chain. But new cats inherit the set and don't remember your name. Cash me up, duffel bags and masks. Gloves, expired tags, and nigga, that's where they mad over rags. Cause no one knows, scars I hide, pain I feel. When shit get hard, when things get tough, and life gets real. And even though my eyes close and I look to sleep, and I still shed tears. Cause no one knows, tears I cry, the pain I feel. Dead homies fertilized, cemeteries, no reason. Jealous for the dethroned kings, hell's for the heathens. She threatened to call the Pope, so I grabbed my sons, I'm leaving. He asked me where we going, guess on the run this evening. 5-shot fever, squeeze some sick beats. Day woo, slaying him in 6 feet. Stay who, bound 105 to Maid C. I'm organic, 80s the chickens is cage free. Ready for war, wash my feet. Brigade armor, never lose. Keep it 100, there's no karma. I keep a key, come when I please. I don't wanna. In my hood, I never swine at all. I can't farmer. I'm a G. Khakis Cortez with no charmer. Detail the color supreme, please, but don't harm her. Lose, it's either Mike.